This is 2-ingredient ice cream, super simple to put together. What I really like you to do today is to look to see what are the tools that I am using. So what I've got are some ingredients. I've got a can of sweetened condensed milk. This is in the baking section. You have to look to make sure it's not evaporated milk. We want the sweetened condensed milk. I also have heavy whipping cream. So we needed 1 can of the sweetened condensed milk and 2 cups of the heavy whipping cream. This is a pint, so that's automatically 2 cups. And then those are the 2 ingredients. After that, you decide what else you want to put in. My family particularly likes to have cookies and cream. So I got some Oreos, although these are like fudge covered Oreos, so they're going to be extra chocolatey. And that's what we're going to get started with. So what I've done is I've actually taken the Oreos and I've crushed them up into little pieces with a rolling pin. So rolling pins aren't just for flattening dough, but I crushed up those Oreos and I have measured out 2 cups of the heavy whipping cream in a liquid measuring cup. And now I've got a large bowl for the sweetened condensed milk. I'm just gonna finish putting the rest of that in. You can see how thick the sweetened condensed milk is. Basically, it is milk that has been boiled down to create this very, very sweet, very thick cream almost. And it's found in a lot of different desserts, Indian desserts, anything that needs, actually Hispanic desserts with dulce de leche as well, or tres leches cake. And it's got a real sweet, sweet and creamy consistency. I'm gonna take my mixing bowl and I'm gonna pour in the milk. And with a whisk, I'm going to whip the cream. So with a whisk, I whip the cream. Oh dear, that's taken a long time. Is there something else I can do to make it whip faster? Yes, yes there is. My standing mixer. See how we're doing. Right now, it's definitely thicker and it's increased in volume, but it's still not holding into peaks, and that's what I'm looking for. In egg whites, we call it stiff peaks. In cream, you can say peaks, but you want it to be firm enough to hold its shape. All right, so now, even after just a minute more, we have really increased the volume, and you can see it's standing up on its own. I don't want to go too much further because I want to make sure it doesn't get grainy, but I might go a smidge more because I want to show you something. All right. So this works all the time in egg whites, but it will work in cream as well. I don't suggest you do this at home. If it is thick enough, you can hold it over your head. It works all the time in egg whites. Cream, you really have to make sure that it's the right thickness. So the other thing I'd like you to do is to take a look and see if you can figure out what would this whipped cream turn into if I continued to whip it. What dairy product would this whipped cream turn into if I continued to whip it on the electric mixer? Basically, it would continue to whip and whip and whip and get a little grainy, and then the fat would separate out. All right, so I whipped the cream with a whisk, and now I want to incorporate the two. But this is a much heavier substance than my nice light whipped cream. So I don't want the thick sweetened condensed milk to deflate all of the air that we worked hard to put into the whipped cream. And so the way I'm going to incorporate it is by folding. So what you can see is I'm scraping the sides with the rubber scraper spatula. I'm scraping the sides and turning it over on itself. I'm folding the sweetened condensed milk on top of the whipped cream. Notice that I didn't put all of the whipped cream in at once. I like to call the first addition the sacrificial addition. I know that this is the addition that is going to lose the air the most. So my first addition is going to have to temper or even out the thicknesses of both. So my first addition of the whipped cream is going to be sacrifice. It's going to lose the most air. Okay. The next addition, my second addition, now it's got a lighter substance because it has more whipped cream in it. So it's not going to lose as much air. You can see that the color is lighter than the original sweetened condensed milk. And you can also see that just in terms of volume, the sweetened condensed milk was very flat on the bowl, and now the volume has really increased this. Okay, I've still got some lumps in there, but they'll smooth out. All right, now this is my third addition. And again, you can see how much lighter it's gotten in terms of volume and in color. Now, the addition that I'm going to do for the flavoring is Oreos, but you could really put lots of different things in here. You could put in mini chocolate chips. You could put in chocolate shavings. You can put in freeze-dried strawberries or even fresh strawberries or even frozen berries too. I've had students say that they put in just vanilla, and you could do that, or you could put in sprinkles. That would be an option as well. So you see how the folding has added some volume. And now I'm gonna add in the Oreos, and again, gently fold them in. And this is ready to freeze. I'm going to put it into the freezer covered with cling film. So I'm going to take some cling film and I'm going to put the cling film directly on to the ice cream. This is not how you make real ice cream, by the way. Real ice cream is with egg yolks and sugar that have been cooked and then adding in some cream. So I'm gonna put the cling film directly on the ice cream, and then I'm gonna put it in the freezer. 5 to 6 hours is about the right amount of time to get the texture that we want. So it'll be ready in a little bit. Don't judge. It's really good.